Okay, right.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the studio with Joe and Bernard today.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you
Good
again.
afternoon.
We hope that you've had a good week so far. We like to talk about difficult things, and the subject for today, none of us are experts at. So we're going to take a little, have a little go at it. But, you may have your own experiences. So if you want to contribute or comment, then please do put them in the Facebook.
Yeah, of course. I'll be looking at the stream today. So if you have anything you'd like to say, please put it in the chat, and I can read that out.
Yeah.
And likewise, if you find it difficult or upsetting, then there's a whole pastoral team at live streams, Bernard included, who will be happy to talk to you. So do get in contact. So that only leads me to explain what it is that we're going to be talking about, and that is memory loss and dementia. And dementia is actually the term, kind of like a collective term, for all types of diseases that affect the brain in the way that it affects your memory. But it doesn't mean that every person with a type of dementia will have the exact same experience. So Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. Frontal lobe dementia is, again, it's another type, but it affects people who are perhaps younger than what you'd expect. And there's many other ones as well. There's like vascular dementia as well. Again, a different type. What I would say is, on a very, very basic level, each one of us have experienced some difficulty remembering something at some point in our life.
Of course, yeah.
What we call it is tip of the tongue. So that's that, you go into the kitchen and you completely forget what you were going in there for. Mm-hmm. Or you go upstairs and then you realise you had no purpose going up the stairs. You lost your keys. You put them somewhere specific but can't remember where it is. You can't think of a word. You know what the word means, but you just can't remember what the word is. And a lot of the time this happens when our brains are overloaded, and the more you try to remember what it is that you've forgotten, actually the harder it is going to be to remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I have that all the time. Trying to think of a word, trying to formulate a sentence, and it's just the one word I can't remember. I can't get out.
It's frustrating though, isn't it? So we, in a very small way, we can all kind of understand how frustrating it must be to experience that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously dementia is, I did some research on it earlier, finding out a lot more about it because, I'm quite lucky in the sense I haven't had family members experience it, or I haven't experienced it, from the outside. I mean, dementia affects both the person who has it as well as the family and the carers and anyone around them. And I can imagine it being so difficult, kind of that idea of maybe someone forgetting you, someone that is close to you. It must be so difficult. And, looking at some research, around 55 million people worldwide have dementia, 10 million new cases every single year. And it's just, it affects so many people. And it's that knock-on effect from the person who has it to what it does to the people around them.
That's right, and it's not just memory. It can affect other regions of the brains. It can affect things like somebody able to walk properly. Some people actually end up shuffling, or their posture changes. It affects motor skills, so being able to feed yourself, clothe yourself.
Yeah, it's not just the mental, the psychological. You've got the physical. There's so many different things it affects, and when it does get to that later stages, it does. It is really difficult to see the person in that state. But I guess it's always just important to be with them and try and look after them as best you can.
Yeah, and also to get a break if you are caring for somebody who perhaps has developed a long way down the line with dementia and has a great need for care. It's important that you have some time off as well for yourself, because you do find a lot of anxiety and stress happens with people who care for others. It kind of builds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, but when we speak about dementia, you just said about memory loss or that funny moments when we go upstairs or go to the kitchen and we don't know why we are there. You don't have to start now to, to write for yourself a medication or Google for I don't know what kind of other stuff, because you could be wrong. Then always when you consider you have some sign, do not do an expertise for yourself. Just simple ask somebody who can do it in a proper way, because we all of us experience because of tiredness or just simple because of other issues, as could happen because of alcohol consumption or other drugs or even some medication can provoke us for short times this kind of behavior or memory loss.
And I would probably add to that, probably a more recent thing, some people have experienced coronavirus.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that can have a lasting impact on ability to focus and attend to things, can it?
But even some, if you can read some information from Facebook or magazines, you can find out that even so, the specialists don't say that it's dementia. It's just simple, a kind of side effects of different other kind of illness or your condition. Then do not rush in saying that, oh, I'm already on dementia. It is good if you have a family history. As in my pastoral life and activity, I experienced it. The family who have a member who already developed dementia, they should go to check. But even so, it's not a must, because the dementia is not a must to be inherited. There are so many other, reasons to have or do not have dementia. Then always, if you are afraid that you could inherit a situation like that, you should talk to a specialist, not to somebody like me. I can speak about that as long as you want to listen to me, but does not mean that I am a person with expertise in that. Just simple, I advise you, listen to yourself, care for yourself, and then ask the best advice you can. Not one person like me when it's about to have the answer, am I in danger to have dementia, or I started to develop already.
I think that's the same for all of us, a part of live streams.
Yeah.
We're all here to discuss anything with you if you would like us to, but we aren't experts on it.
Absolutely.
And we will try and understand anything you're going through.
Just we want to say that we have to talk about that, but in the same time, to advise each other in such a way, do not take the wrong advice. Then go to the resources who can really.
Yeah, well, I did a little bit of research on this morning, looking at the early signs of dementia. I've got a couple little notes about it, but again, it's only brushing the surface of what it can be. But just kind of that kind of forgetfulness, losing track of time, becoming lost in familiar places you're used to being in,
Yes.
and kind of feeling those kind of feeling those like I'm not sure where I am kind of thing. It's maybe something that you don't want to worry about too much if it's just a one-off little thing. But if it is becoming a bit more common, maybe then you either do a bit more research or you do go to your GP. It become a bit more, maybe forgetting people's names, again, becoming forgetful of places you visited or places you're going to, kind of losing track of those memories. It's just something to maybe have a think about at points. If you do feel like this is becoming a common occurrence, you maybe have a look into it. But again, the most important thing is to maybe find out more information online or go to your GP if you have any more questions about it all.
And sometimes with these type of things, it's actually other people that are around you that will pick up on it first before even you do. If you have a memory problem, you don't necessarily recognise it first. Sometimes it will be someone else that will say to you, oh, you've just asked me a question, but you asked me the exact same question before, or you've told me the same experience that you've had twice, or you've just done the same thing.
Absolutely.
Over and over again. It will be other people that will probably raise it with you. And that, I think that's a good thing as well, is to have a conversation with the people around you and ask them what else they have noticed. You know, ask somebody who knows you to go with you to talk to the doctor, so that, you know, perhaps they've noticed more than
you have yourself. Yeah. I think one of the most important things with dementia, it isn't just looking after the person who has it, it's looking after the people around you and around that person, because I can't imagine how difficult it must be to go through that, you know, with a loved one. So if you do have a friend or a family member who is, you know, going through that with a person, do check up on them, do be there for them, because it is such a difficult thing to experience, and it's important to check in on them, like you said about the anxiety that might be caused from it, the depression from it and things like that. It's something to definitely check up on your friends and family.
Yeah, and like I said before, the experience of dementia is so different, you know, from person to person. The brain is unbelievably amazing and complex, and everybody's brain is ever so slightly different. It's all, you know, our neurons, they fire at, you know, different ways, they travel different paths. It's quite unbelievably amazing. Hence why when somebody does get some form of a disease in the brain, it will not be the same as the next person.
Absolutely, yeah. But in the majority of the situation, you know, when it's about dementia, depend so much the family or those who are around. Usually, you know, I don't know if it happens so much now, but years ago when I started to work with people, with families who had members with dementia, in that time dementia was still a stigma, and the social attitude wasn't one to help too much, and the family closed in itself without communicating too much, even with us. Was very difficult to us to open this discussion, because just simple was like that stigma, and they were ashamed for what's happening, like being their fault. It's just simple, you know, dementia is another illness we can face off, and that's the reality. And we have to think about that as we will think about all others illness. And you know, in each kind of illness, as I experienced it when I was working with families with members with dementia, the attitude of the members of the family and how they faced off the situation made that person to survive longer for dementia, and their worsening situation was longer, and even just simple came to the end with the physical life came to the end, and their dementia didn't come to such a point in order they were totally cut off for the others. If that happened again, it's very hard for those around them to be able to create that, that environment in order to give, at least a normal life, if you can say about that, to that person. And for that, it's not easy alone. Then when I was working in that, I didn't face too much, too many situations in this area since I'm here. But in my previous activity, I had a lot of people with dementia or families with people in dementia. And from the lowest level, when the people said, okay, I was diagnosed with dementia, and I started that, I had situations with people who were so violent, they were totally cut off from their families because they didn't recognize anybody else. They didn't have any memories. And we had to work not just with the person who had dementia, but with the family who had always this burden, this pain of the totally lost memory. You are not anything for now on for the person we love. My mom, my dad, or whatever, Just try to find out that. Then if you know somebody, you should contact some person who can help.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you are a Christian or not, does not matter. We could offer time in order to create an environment for people with dementia, doesn't matter what level, especially those who are in the start level, to spend time and to work their brain, because at the end dementia need a special care or a special environment to continue to socialize. Continue to socialize, as I have the experience, kept those persons to the level they were already diagnosed, and their developing wasn't so quick as even the specialist said, because they had the environment, and the people who considered them as normal persons helped them to be better and to remain for long better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can imagine that a diagnosis such as dementia, as with any disease or illness that is going to really have a massive impact on your life and the lives of those around you, is going to be scary and daunting.
Absolutely.
But it's not all bleak. It does mean life probably will get a little harder, but life is not over. Like Bernard said, if you continue to engage and interact with people with dementia, it enables their brain to continue to find new routes to rewire itself for longer. There's no guarantee in anything in life, but you will find that if you go visit a group of people with dementia, they have activities.
Absolutely.
You know, they play games together, or they do dancing if they can, or they listen to music. They have conversations. They work out what memories are still there, and that, you know, in order to keep that person, you know, retrieving that information all the time,
Absolutely.
you know, it takes you to continue to interact with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think with something so big kind of like happening in your life, I think the most important thing is enjoying the little things in life. When something like that happens, you know, you've got to just try and almost celebrate life in a way. When something that big happens, you know, try and enjoy those little things, going for a walk, you know, meeting up with friends, socialising, you know, maybe joining us at St. Peter's, being a part of a community, something like that, you know, kind of just enjoying those little things and trying to celebrate, you know, what we've got still. Even when things do look bleak and things are difficult, it's still just celebrating what we do have still.
Yeah, you know, it's already we speak about the situation when we can prevent to let the dementia become worse. But it's easy to say, it's more difficult to do it. Than the family who has a member, in order to prevent their turn to inherit the dementia or to have a start of dementia, they should know that they need help and advise how to prevent that situation, and in the same time how to keep under control the stress they face caring for a person with dementia. Because the most of the time we don't know, even Alzheimer's sometimes could has its root in the very, very difficult or deep pressure or stress. Then that means, as you said, to enjoy the little things in the life. For that, do something what you like. You like crafts, do craft. You want to write. You want to go outside and to communicate or to talk to the neighbors. It is a way to keep you on float. And for people who are already feeling that, or they have dementia, or they are already diagnosed, have the diagnosis already, that is very important. Because cutting the bridges with others, because of the shame or afraid, or we are afraid, we make the situation worse, you know.
It's very worthwhile actually going on to the Dementia UK page and finding there's a very short course on there, and it's about how to become a dementia friend. It teaches you the basics, you know, even if you have no experience with it whatsoever, of how you can be friendly towards people with dementia in the way that is going to actually help them. So it helps them because you're encouraging them to talk about it rather than being afraid to have a conversation because you're not sure, you know, what to say.
Absolutely.
I think really, have you got anything more to add to that? I haven't really got.
Yeah, I will add that you should know, if you have somebody who has already dementia, that there are many charities who give advice and help, support even, for free. But you have to know again that even the NHS system are providing you with all this support. It's not always 24 by 24 hours. But around you, here even, there are places you can find people to help, not in, like a very high qualified level, but at the end, places when you can come with the people with dementia, when they can spend time together. We have already this, project developed here, and in Manners Way 213, when we have a space for people to come to spend time together, we have a garden, dementia-friendly garden, when they can meet together, do some work, what they would like, gardening, and a charity who come with people like that, and you can talk to those people who got an expertise and can support you in the daily life. Because as I say, charities or other institutions, they offer time by time the support you need. But our life is 24 by 24. Mm-hmm. Then that person who has dementia and the family with the person with dementia has a life. Then when we speak about dementia and memory loss, we speak about the whole life. Mm-hmm. Then we have to treat or speak about what means dementia in a holistic way as a whole. From the moment when I go to rest to the moment when I want to have some fun with my families or with the person from my families with dementia. This is the most difficult. If you go to an institution, they take care of you, maybe recommend some medication, doing that. But you need somebody to give you those support you need in different moments, in order to be able to offer to that person a quasi-normal life.
Yeah, there is, as you say, lots of opportunities. 213 is a very good one because it's, very comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, relaxing space.
Yeah.
And Joe, if you want, put again our contacts in the screen. And you can call us to the office. You can write a message on Facebook, but if you don't want to do it in a particular way, but say what about your query is, and we find a way to contact you and to tell more about the place and the project we already have.
I mean, I think the last thing to say, really, just on the whole topic, is again, we aren't experts here at we're not experts
Absolutely.
here at Live Streams, but we are always here to support you in any way we can. If there's anything you want to talk about, if you're experiencing dementia yourself, or if you've got friends or family who are and you want to bring them into a comforting, relaxing space, you've got here at St. Sed's, you've got St. Peter's, you've got St. Stephen's, you've got the garden as well.
Yeah.
And we're always here to have that chat with you. Again, we won't be able to give you expert advice or anything like that, but we are here to chat, and just, converse about these things.
And the first step is just speak out. And my experience for more than 14 years, I worked helping families and people with dementia. Was about just simple be with them, because I didn't say I come to you as a priest and I prayed with them, but first of all I talked to them and I listened to them. When they needed somebody to talk to them and come with a good message, I was there. But most of the situation they wanted just simple to talk to me, to talk to somebody, to spend some time. Then that means in a way or other to unload what we have on our, on our shoulder. We are here, but depend, of your time as well. And by the way, I'm sure you want to have a normal life even in that. Then just simple speak out. Do not stay alone in this situation, because you deserve a life. Mm-hmm. Even you have somebody with a big difficulty because of dementia or other kind of related diseases.
I think that's a big thing to also think about. When you are going through that, you aren't alone in it. There are a lot of people experiencing exactly the same thing. People around you even that are experiencing the same feelings and maybe emotions that you're going through. So, it's good to speak out with any of this.
And what I would say is, though we aren't experts, everybody can be a friend to somebody
Exactly.
with dementia.
That's true, yeah.
And here at St Sed's, externally, so with actual nurses, right, who have actual training with insurance, they have a free coffee morning here on a Monday. For anybody who is, I think, over the age of 60, you can just turn up, or if you'd like more information about that, get in contact and we can get you in contact with the lady Doris who runs it. So that's an opportunity for you to be around people who are senior citizens,
Exactly, yeah.
and perhaps people who have dementia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we are, I suppose, but I can say just simple, we are happy to help. And
I mean,
the
it's
rest-
a very difficult topic to discuss, 100%, and I think
It is, how many, as I said, 20 years ago was a bit more difficult because it was a stigma. And now we understood more about what means dementia, and how many people have already dementia, and all this stuff, all the complexity of this subject. And still, when we speak about that, we say it's difficult. Why? Because just simple fact, we don't accept it. It's part of our life. It's part of our family's life, friends' life. Because I'm sure all of us, we have somewhere in our family or relatives somebody who is facing dementia now. But just simply we don't speak about that. And we could help better each other if we do that and take it like it is a fact of life. As a flu is a fact of life, dementia is a fact of life. Even we speak about different level, how our life is affected or changed.
Exactly, because you said, I think, 55 million?
55
55
million.
billion. That's a
Only
lot
in
of
UK.
people. Yeah.
I think that's worldwide.
It's a worldwide.
Worldwide.
But,
Yeah, because
but
I
even
think
even then,
Yeah, it's
60.
well, that was my question. I was scared.
Yeah.
How
but
I,
even that though, that's again 10 million new cases every year. That shows how many people are going through it, and
Absolutely,
it's not just that person is affected through dementia, because it's the people around you. Let's say in a close family you've maybe got 5 other people, that turns into 50 million. It is a thing that affects so many people. So again, if you do need to discuss anything with ourselves, or you do want to find out more, please do some research, because again, obviously it's not the nicest topic to discuss, but it is something that does affect so many people, and it's good to know about.
You're right, but how many other topics in our life to be discussed are not the nicest, but they are part of our life, and we should face to them, and just should consider them, because if we hide them under the carpet, we won't solve the issue.
Exactly. But thank you, Bernard and Liz, to discuss that. Again, we hope that has been a bit insightful for yourself, and maybe brought you just a little bit of comfort in terms of that you aren't alone, and you can speak to anybody if you are going through any of that. Let's go on to what have we got going on around live streams over the next week. Obviously we're going into half term, aren't we? So it's going to be quite busy. What have we got going on, Liz?
Well, starting off tomorrow, we've got raindrops in the morning from 9:30 here at St Sed's. In the afternoon, from 1 till 3, is life skills. And even if you haven't joined for the past 2 weeks, you're more than welcome to come along. Yeah, and it's very, very interesting. Informal, easy.
Absolutely, and we try to make it fun. Even we know that those skills we will gain will help us in difficult moments, but we try to do it to be funny and to look well, and just simple to make us to understand something which could help us.
On Tuesday is the film showing? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we are showing film at St Peter's. I will confirm that with Heidi, because she'll be the one putting that on. But I'm pretty certain, we've got that on Tuesday.
Stay in touch with us and you will have all the...
Of course, just
visit
again,
our Facebook page and...
That's exactly it. If you do have any interest in anything that we might have going on, we have got a lot going on over the half term. So please do just look on our Facebook page. We are constantly updating it, and there's adverts and different things saying the time, the place, and what we are doing. So do have a look at that.
Yeah, there is a post up that does say what exactly is going on during the half term. What I would say is on the Thursday, the autumnal afternoon for family is not here at St Sed's, but it's at Mendip Community Garden, which is Dunster Avenue. I think there's a bit of an error.
Yeah, a bit of an error on that one. I think in the newsletter as well, there's a bit of an error with that one. So yeah, if you are thinking about going to that, it will be at Mendip Garden.
And then on Saturday, we've got a bric-a-brac sale here at St Sed's from 9 till 12. So if you would like to book a table, they are £10 each, and just give the office a ring to book your table, or come along and grab yourself a bargain.
Yeah, well, and other than that, we've got our usual services going on here at St Sed's, at St Stephen's and at St Peter's. So if you are interested in going to any of those, please do. Our coffee house is open as usual as well at St Peter's, and the 213 Garden will be open as usual as well. So as well as the community fridge there. So we're still going all the way through half term and all the way through to the new year. So we're expecting to get a lot busier going into the Christmas months. So but please, if you are interested in joining us for anything, get in contact with us or just come down, and we'd be happy to have you.
Okay, here we are.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week. Hopefully soon. We are going to have a couple of different guests coming on to the studio. We might be doing some different interviews and things like that. So we've got a lot of ideas. But if you have any ideas yourself, anything maybe like you'd like to join us, come in and join us here on the studio, or if you just have ideas of things you want us to talk about, please do contact us. I'll put up those contact details once more, and we'd be happy to look at different things. Anything you'd like to talk to us about, or anything you'd like us to discuss internally, we would love to bring that to you.
And you might have noticed that we are not afraid to tackle difficult conversations.
No. I think it's just important to have these conversations, even though they are difficult.
Yeah.
It's always important to have them, just so we can start that conversation and it not be almost like taboo
and,
kind of thing.
We have to be honest, not always we are comfortable in doing that. As just before today's meeting, I was telling you, I'm not sure how comfortable I would be in that, because I work as a pastoral minister in that, not an expert. And for me, it's speaking about dementia and memory loss or other difficulties in our life by side, not in it. Then only one thing I want to share with you, that you can be helped, and I just simple can help you to meet people with the help of these your people you work with. Doris has said, or you people you have together here, or Don in the garden have other people who come to help, and all other kind of stuff in our life. It's just simple.
I just want to add, actually, if you are a carer and you do need some help, please do get in contact, because we can possibly help with signposting you to the right services. We won't be able to do it ourselves. But
Then Liz is here, and she's happy to put you in touch with contact with people who can help and be with you.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in today. Again, we'll be back next week, Thursday at 1:30, so do tune in. And again, if you are interested in anything else we've got going on, please either contact us or just please come in and look on our social media pages. All right, well, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.